Hello, my peeps. It is Tracy here. Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, neighborhood paper pusher. And yes, because I wanted to do something, assistant and general pain in the arse, Rascal is standing, yes, hi Rascal, standing right where I need to walk. Okay, it is a day 2, oops, my hand's too close, of 25 days to an organized craft room. I will tell you that this is my craft room. It actually looks pretty good compared to what it always used to look like. I explained yesterday that I got new shelves. I want to say November. So when I first moved in, there was bookshelves along this back wall, and I just made do with them. And they never really were what I wanted. So I was always like constantly trying to make stuff fit. My desk is custom made. The lovely Corey at Wildfire Woodworking. And it was after I had like all sorts of bits and pieces of furniture that I was like making work in my other house, I decided that I needed to. So you'll notice as we go, it's actually set up that it could be a partner's desk. So like 2 people could work on either side had I not put all my video equipment stuff there. So like all the things go through, but I had it specifically designed, and there used to be different trays in there. I had punches there, but turned out that didn't work. So it's ever evolving, but this is like 3 foot by 6 foot. This is a big desk, custom made for me, crafting where I wanted stuff, the bins I use. So I'll show you that as I go. But everything else in the room was just like leftovers. So just to give you an idea, my desk is actually looking pretty good because I am trying to adopt new habits. But there's always something like this, right, that just gets done. I know I have a system. I told you yesterday, I have a system and use it. I have a system. I'm not using it right now. I'm just throwing stuff over there. So then I bought this cabinet, and because what I had there was not working. So I bought that cabinet. Sorry, I'm probably going way too fast. And I bought this bookshelf, which is one of these ones, same as the other ones. And I liked the way they look so much that that's what prompted all of that. So the process of getting those shelves in, pulling every single thing off and putting all the shelves back in, I actually got a fair bit of organization and purging done, but nothing is switched over from the last catalog to this catalog, or what am I still using? And you'll notice there's still a bunch of extra bins in the corner there on top that are not supposed to be there. I told you yesterday, what fits in these bins there, that's what I'm allowed for retired stuff. So every time a new catalog or every time a new retired list, I have to go through and look and say yes or no, yes or no. So we'll get to all of that as we go. But for a lot of you, probably have never seen my craft room before. I don't know that I've ever really showed it. But let's get to day 2's task. I just feel like we had to have a bit of a disclaimer because my craft room is rarely this clean, but I'm trying, and the November really spurred things along. So I got a notification on my phone. One thing I have noticed is this is where my light switch is. So I put my bin yesterday. I told you if you have a donate bin or a sell bin or whatever that's temporary. So I put it there. One thing I've noticed is if you have a light switch, do not put the bin before you get to the light switch because you will trip on it for sure. I also have a broom in here, and it doesn't seem to matter how much I sweep in here. The floor is never clean. Here was the other project from yesterday. I mentioned because I was on my other phone I couldn't do this, but garbage can, recycle bin, and then this is like a mechanics rolling stool thingy. I don't know. It is the best thing ever. I've tried several different footstools to put my feet on. I told you I put my feet on the wheels of my chair. I know I'm not supposed to. So sometimes I put them on the bottom of that. Sometimes I can stretch my legs out and on the top on the cushiony part, and then I can actually like do leg lifts and exercises because otherwise my knees are hooped. But it's also perfect for if I'm ever doing like cleaning anything lower in the cabinets or anything. This just wheels out and I sit on it. It's like the best thing ever. You know this is going to happen, right? There's no way I'm going to stay focused on anything because there's so many things to show. But so yesterday's task, empty the garbage and recycle. I was working on my planner after I did the garbage yesterday, so yes, it was empty, and already I've got stuff in the recycle, but those are empty. And I've got my temporary bin out, and now it's time for task number 2. Oh, and I'm going to sit down. So today's task is clean off your work surface. You saw some of the stuff in the desk. I can't say clean your desk, because if your desk is like mine, there's 17 different things in here that are different days worth of stuff. But I'm pretty sure I changed. I did last night change some stuff. Like I turned all those sheets over so you didn't see people's personal information. So I hope that I have. Oh, I just realized I never did what's on one of those stickers. Okay, so I do have like, these are like just little notes and stuff. I'm going fast enough you probably can't see them anyways. I have stuff all around me, but we're just talking about your desk. And the reason we're talking about doing the desk is because, one, you need somewhere to work. If you pull something out and you're going to sort through it, you need somewhere to work. Two, if you look at my desk, and I used to have a cleaning lady, and I so wanted to tidy up before she came all the time. And I so wanted to do that today, but I thought, no. The one thing I did do is I have this little thing beside my desk, which I'll show you in a minute. I did tidy it a bit, mostly just because I had to adjust some things, because I have this bag that I carry around from room to room with me that usually sits right here beside my tea. But the other thing I said yesterday was I'm going to try a put away bin. So this is where cards, right now there's a project that I'm in the middle of that I have to finish today when we're done. But I'm going to try a put away bin. So one thing it does is it fills up the space, so there's less. Although the one behind it, that's the problem. I just throw things in it and then I never empty it. So that's part of today's job. But that's all I did, is I moved enough stuff that I could put this bin down. I do have this bin here for when I do my die cuts with my cut and emboss machine. And because then I can kind of, and I realize I stand over here and I cut and I go this far to my desk. And yes, I've lost die cuts before. So it's easier to put them in this little bin, and then when I'm done, I put it back. And this bin, coincidentally, fits perfectly on the, oops, I'm not showing you what I'm showing you, on the machine, right? So it is meant to like just sit there. I push it off to the side when I'm actually using it. Now, putting away folders, yeah, I should be doing that. Despite what I said yesterday about having my cutter, and so I don't put stuff on it or I can't use my cutter, yeah. How long has that Christmas paper been sitting there? Because I had everything else I needed was pre-cut. So I need to put my embossing folders away, and that, and oh, good Lord, what's in these things? This is like the worst habit I have, is throwing stuff beside and in front. I actually put away the most of what I used from my Tuesday evening Zoom and from yesterday's, like my kid is on the shelf, right? So I'm getting better at trying to put the immediate stuff away, but little things like scraps and stuff, I'm so bad at. And this corner's the worst. So this is what I'm working on right now, right? These projects. Okay, so I'm going to slowly, because I think I'm probably making people sick. I'm going to slowly turn. I get supervised all day long by the dog. Oops, I was going to drop my phone all of a sudden. So I have these 3 bins here, and these are for projects in progress. Plus I have this bin here, which is all my Advent calendar class, because it's a bigger collection of things. There's 12 projects in there. Here's the ones we've already made. Here's the stuff for my February 6th class. And I have an empty bin where I could put more stuff. Do I do that, though? Sorry. Hi, Rascal. There we go again. No, I stack it beside me on the desk. So I have to put this away. But it is legitimately how my desk always looks. So I have all these like bits and pieces I need to get out of the way. Now you notice, embossing folder, DSP, ink pads, stamp blocks, a ribbon, stamp sets, embellishments, treat holders. This is the exception to the guideline I gave you yesterday, where only touch things once. Like, so I don't want to pick it up and not do something with it. In this case, some of this stuff's going to get touched twice, because I'm not going to sort my embossing folders today. I'm just going to put those away. I happen to know both of them are current, so it makes a difference. But, and the paper, I don't actually know if it's current or not. So instead of stopping and looking it up and seeing if it is and decide if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to put it in the sell bin, no, we're going to do that when we get to the DSP section. Right now, I just want to get it off my desk so everything on the desk is clear. I don't want to have to clean out all the DSP and then come over to my desk, find more DSP, put it there, and go through it again, right? So that's why we're doing this now. So all of these things need to get put away, so when I get to all of these sections, I'm not finding new stuff. I also have down here this metal tray that I was using. It's this big long metal tray that I had all these like bits and pieces in, which I keep. This is one of my worst habits, throwing parsley. Like when I made, this is the advent calendar, but it took a bit of trial and error. Plus some I just screwed up on. Plus then I didn't take pictures the first time, so I had to make more. And then I had extra like parts from the part I had to make. And then I just throw them off to the side. So I gotta stop doing that. But anyways, I need this metal tin that's here. And I still want this stuff like this. Like these are my sticky notes, little notepads that I use all the time. There's water, there's Q-tips, there's toothpicks. There's just like oddball stuff. And some things that don't belong there I can see too. But I want this tray for something else to do with my herb garden. So I found this bin, which is, here, that's a little bit too close, which is long and skinny, and will also make it so that I don't have as much room to keep all the other stuff that is not actually supposed to be here. So I do have to switch that out. So that's what I'm going to do for my desk, just to give you some like bits and pieces. And this is my favorite little carousel with all my tools in it. This is, I used to just have a stack of envelopes on my desk, and then the different layers were in a different thing, which I'll show you when we get to the cardstock section, which is coming up soon. I'll show you that one, but that's the little organizer thing from the kit that came out in September, I think it was. And that thing has proved to be a godsend. And then this is sort of it's not really, I count it as my desk because it sort of puts my desk stuff in it. But I don't want my desk right up against the wall, because then I find that I'm too close to the wall for starters, but I just also don't like the way it looks, and I feel like I'm like shoved in. So I had this space. Well, as I said, everything on the side of the desk gets sort of piled there. Well, stuff was always falling off and onto the floor and underneath the edge of the desk. And so part of what I was trying to do in this whole big thing is engineer it so that I can't do that. So now I have this instead. This was in the laundry room. This came from IKEA. And it didn't work in the laundry room. So I was like, gonna get rid of it. But there's some paper towels there. These are actually like napkins. A Kleenex. I have some little oddball, like my card samples. This, which I almost never reference. But every now and again I do, so I keep it. There's my little planner and my little project book for what I'm working on. This is the little bag that I carry around from room to room. Mostly because I carry an Apple Pen, my iPad, my phone generally, perhaps some binder or paper or something that I'm working on, and usually a cup of tea. I have to bungee cord my door closed or the dog won't leave my office alone, and he likes to eat paper. Yeah, so I need to be able to carry everything in one hand so that I can open the door. So that's how it started. I have like glasses cleaner in there and a pair of nail clippers, so I don't have to have nail clippers in every room, nor do I have to go get them if I just have a hangnail, it's like stuff like that. So I have my little mini cut and emboss here because I find that sometimes I have my desk engineered for another reason. I have to get up to cut paper or to cut or like to emboss, because if not, I can sit for hours and that's not good. So I purposely made it where I can't reach it from sitting down. I didn't want to. I wanted to make myself get up. But I do have the little one here just so if I'm like doing a video or something or just need to cut one little thing, I can. And then at the very bottom, this thing rolls the whole way out. And it is almost never all the way tucked in. It is generally half out like that. So down at the bottom, I have tea bags, liquor. I have like little mini bottles that I was using for treat holders and stuff that I just have to do something with. Or maybe I'll make a bunch of treat holders. And then the white thing, this is like super old. Don't ever eat anything in this bin. I know I've said it before, but don't ever eat anything in this bin. This is my sample bin. And these are bits and pieces of things that I use that I put in treat holders that I use to get the right size. Some things in there might only be a couple months old, but some things in there are probably a couple years old. So don't ever eat that stuff. We'll get to like treats and food and stuff on a different day. But anyways, that's just part of my desk. So, I was going to say the whole engineering things. Part of the reason I have this stuff like the way I do behind is so that I can pull a Kleenex out without the whole box coming out. Because, see, pet peeves. It drives me nuts, so I have a way to fix it. Okay, that's bugging me because it's going to bend something that's not supposed to. Okay, so here's today's task. To recap. We're talking work surface. put away all those things that should be in a different section. So I have cardstock, I have a punch, I have embellishments, I have stamp sets, I have ornament hoop things, which I have just sort of a random thing of hoops and rings and things and pieces, non-paper parts of things, DSP embossing folders. Get everything done off your work surface so you have somewhere to work, and so you're not dealing with these things after we've dealt with the section. Alrighty. There we go. And I don't know if I said it at the top. I think I was distracted by the dog. I haven't figured out how to go live on YouTube on my phone. And I need to be able to use my phone because the other stuff is fixed. So I will figure that out. My next 2 days are very busy, so it'll be at least Sunday. So for now, just videos. But if you have comments or questions or whatever, post them on this comment or on this post. And we'll get to them. If you have ideas, suggestions, anything like that, let me know. Bye, peeps. Happy day 2.